So today I want to talk about my loan process that I'm going through for my new primary residence. So I'm going through Lennar Mortgage. Lennar is the builder of my new home. So I thought in my mind it'd be easier if I use Lennar Mortgage in-house to buy my Lennar home. And if you use them, they're giving a $40,000 seller repair credit as an incentive. So I thought it'd be easy, but as I've been going through the process, of getting this loan approved. It's been one of the hardest loans that I've gone through, and I don't know if it's because my tax situation is complicated given all the businesses that I've been involved in, all the real estate that I've owned, and I think just a lot of mortgage lenders are not used to that. Most mortgage lenders are used to people who just work a W 2, which I still work a W 2, but they just work a W 2 and they don't really have much going on, like maybe no businesses, maybe one rental property. It's a lot simpler. So I think for me, I'm a little more complicated and they're deep diving into me a lot over the past, like, I'd say 3 years. They're looking back that far on me. And, so far, for context, I'm going to the house as a 50% owner. So I'm owning half the property and my fiance owns the other half. And my fiance's tax return's a lot simpler, right? Just W 2 job and one rental property. Versus me, I have my W 2 job, I have two businesses, I have a side business, so three businesses, and I have, I think, like 10 properties listed on my tax returns. So, and a lot of my properties were value add, right? So, my mobile home park, value add. I sold that. My 26 unit was value add. My 20 unit was value add. So, yeah, just a lot going on, right? But high level, at least the way I see it is, okay, my W 2 job, I make good money from my W 2, right? And let's break down my real estate portfolio. Most of my single family homes, for the most part, are break even, right? So my first single family home I bought, that's break even. My second single family home I bought, which is kind of like a duplex, that one's making about maybe $800 a month. My third single family home, which is the one I use as a cash out refinance to pull out a lot of money, that one is probably cash flow negative, about $3,000 a month, right? So that's the one that's negative. My fourth single family home in Orange County, that one is negative $200 a month. My single family home in Alabama, that one is probably cash flow positive, about $600 a month. And my 26 unit, I would say it's probably cash flow positive, I'd say $8,000. And my 20 unit is cash flow positive about, I'd say, $1,500 to $2,000. And then soon my mobile home park note payment will start kicking in, and that's going to pay me around $2,200 a month, right? And then my one of the businesses that they, so if you do all my real estate, um, for the single family homes, I'd kind of say that one is probably, because some are positive, some are negative. The one that pulled out a lot of money is negative 3,000. I have one that's positive 800, 600, so that's 1,400. So let's just say that out of that 3,000, that's negative. My single family home portfolio is, let's just say, negative $2,000 for simplicity, right? Let's just make it simple. But I'm making, what is it, 8,000 from my 26 unit, 2,000 from my 20 unit, and eventually another 2,200. Let's just make it 2,000 for simplicity for my mobile home park. So that's $12,000 positive, and then my single family home portfolio is negative 2,000. So it's still $10,000 net a month, right? So in my mind, I'm like, okay, I'm making $10,000 net a month in my real estate portfolio. My W 2 job is great, right? Like I make more than most people as a high income W 2 professional. I'm fortunate to have that. And my businesses, well, let's break them down. I had one business, which was a Amazon drop shipping store, which I opened in 2021. and I shut that down in 2022, and I lost money on that one. I think I lost around $30,000 on that one. My other business is a pharmacy that I invested in as kind of like a seed investor, right? So I put like I think like $35,000 into that one, and it's losing money every month, but I'm only obligated towards that initial seed money I put in. So we're in the process of selling that business, and I probably won't get any of my money back, but I only put in 35,000, probably lost 35,000, right? So that will be off my skin soon. And then in terms of my coaching mentorship business, like that one's pretty high profit margins because I don't have overhead cost. So whatever I make from that, it's usually like good profit margins. It's just usually my time for the most part. There's no overhead costs. There's no employees. It's pretty simple. So that one is overall positive. So like big picture, like I don't know why they're scrutinizing me so much when literally my W-2 job, let's just say I'm taking home $10,000 a month. My real estate portfolio is $10,000 a month. I have a side business, even if which is positive, but even if you just get rid of that, basically $20,000 a month between my W-2 and my real estate, and the monthly mortgage, which I'm splitting with my fiance, is the total mortgage is $7,400 a month. But if we were to split it and half is mine, half is hers, that's $3,700 a month. So like I don't get what the big deal is when I have $20,000 coming in, and I'm only obligated like $3,700, right? Like even the whole thing, make it $7,400, the whole mortgage $7,400 mine. Like it's still like 1/3 of what I take home. So like I don't get why they're scrutinizing, but I get it. There's just a lot of compliance issues of each lender, and they all vary, and they're just trying to do what they need to do to get the loan closed. And it's just very humbling for me because all my other loans that I got, even for primary residence, were very easy, right? Like my first two through US Bank was very easy, and this one they're asking for everything, like every little thing, like why do you want the house, right? Write a letter of explanation as to why you want the house. I'm like, if I didn't want the house, I would have not made an offer, right? So I found that weird to me, but I just used the letter template, signed it, sent it. They seemed happy of that. They wanted a letter of explanation as to why I was off for 5 months between jobs. I had to explain that I was laid off. I was looking for another job, and during that time, I was like managing my real estate portfolio, right? Like my real estate portfolio is already a full-time job in itself. So they want a letter of explanation as to that. So, for context, I've probably submitted like 100 documents to underwriting so far, right? Like every single rental property, they're going to ask for a mortgage statement, property tax, HOA, the lease, insurance for all your properties, right? And then they're going to want your bank statements, right? I've owned multiple banks, Chase, Wells Fargo, all those bank statements. They want that. They want your pay stubs. They want, if you have investment accounts like I have Vanguard, Charles Schwab, they want those bank statements. They want, I'm leasing my Tesla, right? Or have car payments on my Tesla. They want that car payment. Everything needs a letter of explanation. Everything needs proof, right? So like literally I already submitted 90 documents, and an underwriter sent me a list of 10 more things that they wanted from me, and I just can like break it down. So like, yeah, they want to verify that my fiance was living rent free. So I had to basically give her a letter saying that, hey, she lives here for free. I don't charge her rent. They wanted, insurance on a property. They wanted proof that that I have a note on my mobile home park that I sold. They want my LLC documents for my mobile home park as well as my holding company. And they want to know that I'm not part of the new ownership group. I'm like, how do I prove that I'm not part of the new ownership group? Like, that's their business, not mine. So literally, I just sent them my whole closing packet for my mobile home park, right? Next, they want literally credit card statements for all of our credit cards. Like, my fiance literally has a credit card for Wells Fargo that's $250. and they want proof of like that statement. So like literally, we're providing all of our credit card statements, which is crazy, right? Like, lucky for me, I only use two main credit cards: my personal one, and I have a business one from a holding company. Those are my two main ones. They want, as I mentioned earlier, a letter explaining the motivation to purchase the home and intention for the current home. I'm like, shouldn't you have asked me for my intention for the home when I submitted my offer? Right? Like, why are you asking now when we're about to close? Right? But whatever, it's easy. They want my updated loan statements for my two apartment complexes, my 26 unit, my 20 unit, which is through Bank of the West, which is now BMO. They want us to do our tax transcripts. Um, so, you just go on the IRS, request for your transcript. They're going to do a lot of like identity verification. So that was easy. And they wanted my 2023 personal and business tax returns, which I just filed. So I had that. But if not, they want documentation of why you want an extension. And also, they want a signed and dated letter explaining my gap in employment for about 4 months, right? So, and this was back in early 2022. So I'm just like, this is like crazy. And then even on top of that, like the underwriter wants to talk to me or set up a call with me. Um, and I get it for them. Like I have like 10 rental properties. I have businesses in Schedule C. I have businesses in Schedule E. It's just a lot going on. I'm not your typical, home buyer. Like I'm a lot more advanced, and it's probably like stressing them out, and they just want to know. But like I got a lot of moving pieces, right? Like I sold my mobile home park, so you'll see on my current tax return that I sold my mobile home park. Um, I'm in the process right now of selling my pharmacy. So for my when I file taxes for next year, um, you'll see that that pharmacy is sold, and the other business, which was my Amazon store, they'll see on my tax return from last year that I sold it. Right. So like there's a story for everything, but I get it. It's a lot of things to explain. So they want to talk to me for me to explain that. So it's kind of interesting. Like I'm like there. I kind of wish I wasn't on the loan because like I'm so much more complicated. But knowing that this is a primary residence that I'm probably gonna live in for a long time, it's comforting knowing that this painful process is only one time, and we're very good about giving documentation timely and fast. I've been very organized with that, so hopefully that makes it easy. And I know that Lennar wants to sell their home to me. Lennar wants to take the note, and Lennar is also the title company. So like they're vertically integrated and they're motivated to make everything work. So overall, I don't know if this loan process is difficult because it's Lennar, or had I gone to like let's say US Bank or Chase Bank or Citibank, like would it have been easier for me? I don't know. I do know that my tax situation is more complicated than most people because I'm doing a lot. Like I said, I'm involved in three businesses and I own 10 rental properties, and things are constantly moving for me. But things are now stabilizing for me, right? Like I got a really good W-2 now. I got um, my businesses are for the most part done. I don't think I'm gonna do any additional businesses. The only one I want to continue doing is my mentorship and my coaching business because I love doing that. That's probably the business for me. I don't Probably not gonna do an Amazon store or do another pharmacy, independent pharmacy, or do any other shiny object syndrome business. I just want to do like coaching, mentorship, and just continue building off of that. Right? Like I love doing that. That's my passion. Um, so I don't anticipate my tax returns getting more complicated, and my real estate portfolio, it's looking really good now. It's stabilized, so money wise, it should look good. But even despite that, I own a lot of real estate, right? So this is why a lot of real estate investors they use portfolio loans. They don't like using like conventional loans because conventional loans give you better interest rates, but they require full documentation, right? Versus if you do a portfolio loan, they don't require full docs, or the low docs, or they look more at the cash flow of the asset of the property versus you. It's an easier approval process, but interest rates are going to be higher, right? So you're kind of paying for the convenience. So I get it, right? Like I'm only anticipating buying one more single family home as a primary residence, and that's when we trade up our townhome, and maybe like 5 to 10 years we'll trade up to a bigger home if we want to. And at that point, that's when I'll buy again but I'll see if like hopefully I don't have to be in the loan. You know what I mean? Like just be off of that. So hopefully you got some value. Hopefully you see what's like getting a loan approved in 2024. You know, I'm recording this in March of 2024, and interest rate was 6.625%, which is the highest I've got. Right, all of my interest rates have been below 4%. And fingers crossed that interest rates drop in like 2-3 years, and I can refinance it to a lower rate and make lower my monthly payment. But I'm looking into living in this property long term, 5-10 years, and I'd assume in 5-10 years interest rates will go down, but who knows, right? But in any case, I can afford it now. Um, Hopefully, this gave you some insight as to what it's like getting approved for a loan now for a primary residence. Like this is my most difficult loan I've gone through, and it's probably like one of the lower loans that I've gotten approved for. So, and I'm doing this with like my fiance. It's not just me. So let me know if you have any questions down below. If you're going through the same thing, please share your grievances with me. Please share this video with somebody who's going through the same process. Like you're not alone. And please share this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Hope to see you next one. Thank you so much.